So maybe moving into repertoire, tell us a bit about the repertoire you selected for this recording session.
Well, first of all, there's not actually a ton of music written for string trio. So composers out there, this is a great great place to fill. We were really hoping to find a much more diverse program, maybe some females, maybe some other nationalities, but with the time constraint that Minna mentioned and everything that we had, we ended up settling with two really great composers, obviously Mozart and Beethoven, and then added the Piazzolla and the Glier as well, which really rounded it out. And these two pieces were actually from each other, the Beethoven Trio Opus 9 and then the Mozart K536, I think it is. But if you notice those numbers, the K536, it goes towards that Mozart was writing that near the end of his career. And then the Beethoven was written early in Beethoven's career. So it's just an interesting juxtaposition of their styles. But it's also, there's a lot that's similar about the pieces. They're both very soloistic. Mozart actually wrote it as kind of a concerto for each instrument, for the cello, the viola, and the violin. And we didn't know that until it was already in ink on the program. So we couldn't back down after that. But I was really, really glad to be able to learn the piece. Honestly, I didn't know either piece before I started learning them. I hadn't even heard them before. So it was really, really fun to dive into them and to get to know them really well. The Beethoven, was also soloistic. Minna, I think you talked about earlier how you thought it might be an easy ride for you.
Oh, yeah. Because, well, being a cellist, most of the classical rep, especially in orchestra, it's a walking bass line, right? So I'm thinking, how hard can this be? Yeah, fine. And I said to them, let the violinist pick the rep. I'll be fine with anything. I actually said that. So
you did.
When Boy said, okay, this is what everybody's thinking, I saw Beethoven Opus 9. Oh, no problem. Early Beethoven. How hard can it be? Well, yeah, I'm glad I looked at it when I did, because I was practicing. I was studying the score. It was so much more involved. I mean, I should have known, but I like we said earlier. I mean, I don't play in a string trio. I play mainly piano trios, string quartets, and orchestra, chamber orchestra. So I thought, well, let Rachel figure it out. She's the one who has a full plate. I'm happy to do anything. But as it turned out, it was some serious preparation, and it did take a good amount of brain cells, I must say, a lot of brain cells to
and shoulder muscles. The Beethoven had,
yeah.
Well, and that was the other thing. We were a little bit not misled, but I was naive, I suppose, in that it says it's in G major. So, G major in our stringed instruments. It's a great key to play in, very resonant, not too hard to be able to play in tune together. But then the second movement comes and hits you, and it's E major, which is way harder. And it's got some interesting modulations in there. And that was one of the points when I looked over at Boyd and the recording engineer, Dan, and said, are you going to be able to make that ring a little bit more? It was just falling flat, and we were in tune, but just the recording space didn't have that reverberation. So hopefully they've added a little bit, helped us out there a little bit. And then just the actual, there are a lot of notes in the last movement of the Beethoven. It goes pretty quickly, and we all have a lot of notes, and bringing that all together. There was a lot of woodshedding for me, and literally had children hanging on my arm while I was doing it, thinking, I need to get this done. Yeah.
Amazing. So much more for us to look forward to.
Momoko, do you want to talk a little bit about the piazzolla? How hard it was to
So,
find music?
Yeah, you had some extra work to do.
oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, so we found this piazzolla string trio arrangement, and we started rehearsing. And oh my goodness, we had so many wrong notes on the score we purchased. So we had I thought it's only 5 minutes piece, so we didn't need to rehearse so much of it, but we spent good amount of time figuring out the harmony and stuff like that. So that was but that was, I had a good time.
Momoko fixed it. Yes, she was our
I don't know.
arranger.
But yeah, that was kind of unexpected. We were like, I was working like day before the recording, still trying to figure out the arrangement.
Right. Yeah.
Wow.
It came out really beautifully. So
Yeah.
Okay, wow, we have so much to listen for there.
yeah.